Hey, quiet in the back.
Are we good?
Yeah, go.
Okay. Well, hey everybody, thank you so much for coming. This is our first planning session for CoderDojo Ponce Springs. Before I get started, just can I introduce myself? My name is Josh Goff. I work here at Version 1 as a developer and also trying to help do this kind of stuff.
I'm Ian calling. I'm CTO at Version 1. I have a 14-year-old son and an 11-year-old daughter who need to get their act together.
And we have a number of people. Who here is from Version 1? Raise your hand. So a lot of those folks there have helped us organize tonight and gotten the word out. We did a talk at Version 1 at our headquarters up in Alpharetta last Wednesday. We had 30 members on the mailing list. We have about 80 right now. So let's actually have a hand for all the people at Version 1 who've gotten the word out there. So what we want to do tonight is kind of review the basic idea of what CoderDojo is all about, and we'll play a couple of video clips, no more than 10 minutes total, and then we'll talk about some of the roles that are involved here. So parents with kids, anybody who wants to volunteer, and also mentor, and go over what we see that meaning, and then take any questions, and also talk about child safety and the procedures that we foresee needing to do, and see what other concerns people might have. And also, we're tentatively planning that our first session would be Saturday, the 29th of June. If we could get just a show of hands of the people who want to be mentors. Well, first of all, how many people here are just parents but not necessarily wanting to mentor? Can you raise your hands? So how many is that? 1, 2, 10? Okay, and now show of hands of people who, whether you're a parent or not, whether you would like to mentor.
Define mentor.
Yeah.
What is
Okay.
a mentor's responsibility?
Okay, all
Jump
right.
in. Raise your hand, jump in.
Okay.
You can always get in.
Can you help kids learn to code?
Okay.
Scratch, CSS, like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, whatever. Are you interested in doing that? I'm sorry. Well, we'll get into
Yeah,
it.
we'll cover it soon.
Yeah, for sure. Sorry.
And also to let you know, we want to get it, we're getting it started here, but we plan to extend this to our headquarters in Alpharetta, which is off of exit 12 McFarland Road in up there in
Passport.
what county is that?
Need a passport.
I don't even remember.
Technically,
What
it's
county.
Foresight.
Foresight,
Yeah.
okay. So let's go ahead and
So what we're proposing is that we do the first session with the kids on the 29th. Okay. Maybe morning, maybe afternoon. We'll talk about it as a group and decide what works best. We know that's the Saturday before July 4th week, so that might make attendance not as high as it would under normal circumstances. But we need that amount of time to prepare, I think, and get mentors together and talk about what we're going to do. I'm sorry, yeah.
And would that be here and not?
It'll be here. Yeah, we're going to do the first 2 sessions here, and just get some momentum and kind of figure it out. And then we'll probably alternate between here and there every couple of weeks. Maybe more often than that. We just need to kind of figure it out as a group what we can realistically support.
go to the video.
What's up?
Do the video.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I'm actually going to use this.
Now you're gonna see Josh in the video. You may have already watched this because he sent out a thing about it. So apologize for the repetition, but it's a good sort of like baseline understanding of the CoderDojo movement. Kind of start here. Yeah.
Hello, my name is Josh Goff. I work for Version 1 in Atlanta, and we'd like to invite you to CoderDojo Ponce Springs, a free and fun place where Atlanta's kids learn how to code, supported by parents and mentors. How does CoderDojo Ponce Springs work? It's simple. Parents accompany their kids ages 7 to 17 and bring their own laptop. Kids then work together, having fun writing code to create websites, apps, games, and more. Kids get help from professional programmers who serve as mentors. Mentors also encourage the kids by admiring their curiosity and creativity. Most importantly, kids start teaching each other what they're learning. How is it supported? Attending CoderDojo Ponce Springs is always free. We rely on sponsorship from the Version 1 Foundation, as well as other companies and volunteer mentors and champions. Sign up today at meetup.com/CoderDojo Ponce Springs or contact me for more information. Let's learn a bit more. What is the global CoderDojo movement? CoderDojo is a global collaboration providing free and open learning to young people, especially in programming technology. The movement is growing fast. More than 200 CoderDojos exist across the globe. Independent and open. Each CoderDojo is independently operated, free for all attendees, and supported by a global community. CoderDojo has one rule: be cool. The CoderDojo promise: open, free learning. The CoderDojo principles: our context is open, free, child-led learning. We are open source. Child safety comes before everything except common sense. Participation is always free of charge. Playing and creating lead our learning, and we share what we learn. What works in an individual CoderDojo is shared, not enforced. We collaborate and rely on each other. Champions, mentors, parents, and their kids are responsible for each other. CoderDojo looks like this: always open, collaborative, supportive, and most of all, fun. Who should attend CoderDojo Ponce Springs? Let's take these one at a time. Parents and their kids. Parents, bring your kids ages 7 to 17 and stay with them as they learn. Bring a Windows or Mac laptop. We will post any other download requirements in advance of events. We have a limited number of loaner laptops for coding sessions, so if you don't have one, be sure to check with us first. Professionals to serve as mentors. Are you a professional programmer or can otherwise write code, scripts, or build websites? We need you to help kids learn to code. You can give a 15 to 20 minute intro on a language, then help kids experiment with it, or just help them solve problems on projects they're already working on. Attend regularly and you'll get to help the same kids make great progress on their ideas. You'll feel a great sense of pride that you helped them. We're building a developer library in the office, so bring your old books. Teachers or other adult chaperones. If you're a teacher or other trusted adult, you can chaperone multiple children to an event. Please bring a signed approval note from each child's parents. If possible, see if your school can let you bring laptops for each child. If that's not possible, check with us to see about our loaner laptops. Other volunteers can assist in many ways. Even if you don't have coding skills or kids to bring, but you still want to help, you can. Help us get the word out to different publications. Tell schools about our website and this presentation. Donate old laptops or other equipment, or let us borrow them during events. Help us run events to ensure safety and success. Our first planning event is Tuesday, June the 11th at 7 p.m. It will be at Version 1's Old 4th Ward office. Sign up to get full location details. Our audience is parents and interested mentors and volunteers to discuss how we will run future coding sessions and how to keep kids safe in future events. Sign up today. This is what you'll see on meetup.com. Frequently asked questions. Do you plan to extend this beyond downtown Atlanta, such as to Alpharetta? Yes, we do. Version 1's headquarters is actually in Alpharetta, and once we've gotten it moving in Atlanta, we'll expand up there. Will adult volunteers need to be background checked before working around kids? Yes, they will. We haven't finalized the details of this process yet, but we're communicating with the Hello World Foundation, which helps new CoderDojos get off the ground, and this topic will be discussed at our first planning event. What you can do now to help kids get coding. Sign up as a mentor or volunteer. Spread the word to others and to schools. Donate equipment, programming books, and more. Also, help us strategize on supporting a wider community of underprivileged youth whose parents might not have laptops. We'll have an upcoming video with some inspiring stories about how this has been done in a number of communities. Thank you very much for listening, and remember to sign up today at meetup.com/CoderDojo Ponce Springs. You can contact me at josh.goff@version1.com, or you can contact Ian Culling, ian.culling@version1.com. Thanks a lot, and we hope to see you there.
Okay, we've got one more 3-minute clip, which is footage of Dojo's in operation in Ireland. But before we do that, does anybody have any quick questions? Okay. Let's jump right to that. And this one actually they interview the kids, and you'll be surprised, some of them are as young as 10, and they're actually writing code that they're selling in the app stores, like for iPhone or for Android.
Set this out, we wanted to create an Irish tech brand that could go global, that would inspire a generation that up until now has really been in danger of just becoming users and not creators. To be literate and fluent, you have to be able to code, because otherwise you can't do something new and creative.
I like to make like virtual pet simulation things, where you have to take care of your virtual pet online.
I'm working on a game, and he's working on a Flash game. Space. My game's called Infection.
And he's going to sell it on the App Store,
Yeah.
but I'm just going to have mine
On Newgrounds.
computer, Newgrounds probably.
And what languages did you learn today?
HTML.
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 Oh, yeah, there's HTML today.
Yeah.
And what kind of things have you learned since you started doing Dojo?
HTML, CSS, for example, media queries, making mobile sites, Python now is what we're doing now.
It's just fantastic, it really is. At the age of 10 to be learning HTML, coding and CSS, it's fantastic. I bring my own laptop as well, and I do a little bit on the side here, sitting at the side of the room, so I'd be keeping up with it at the same time, so I can help her out at home or whatever if she's got questions. Then I've learned a bit as well.
We're introducing our merit badge system, so young people can earn merit badges, and basics of HTML or open source, or teaching people how to make websites and so on, and then they go up in their belt system, so they go from white belts to black belts in coding, and we're now have dojos who are contributing back materials and basically building up a kick-ass international network of dojos.
It's just trying and work its way up.
Because it's free, because it's very simple. We have one rule: above all, be cool.
And is Dojo cool?
Because of that simplicity, and it's free, it can scale infinitely. I mean, how many out-of-work programmers are there in the world? I would say 0.
All right. If you're interested, there are lots of good videos out there, including there's a YouTube channel, just youtube.com/CoderDojo, where they have some very, very good ones, some very recent. They cover more of the background of the movement and what their plans are for the future.
Yeah, and the way chapters or whatever they're called get started is there's usually a sponsoring company that donates space, which is us, version 1. We also have probably a dozen retired laptops we're going to throw into a loaner pool. Those need to be prepped. Some volunteers to help with that for sure. And then you have, and then it's really about growing it through the community, right? And so it's not really about us being, in charge, but just getting it moving, right? And as far as getting things going, this is an amazing turnout, and there's a ton of interest, which is pretty motivating. We talked with the woman that started the New York City chapter, or whatever chapter. I think.
CoderDojo NYC.
3 kids showed up to their first session. They have somewhere between 120 and 150 now. They run curriculum-based sessions once a month, and then they offset those every once a month, like 2 weeks in between each, with drop-in sessions, where kids can come in and work on their projects with mentors and whatever they're working on. So that's a pretty cool model, for sure. The one of the chapters in Ireland, I think, has somewhere they've had 600 kids in a single session. It's pretty amazing.
There is a clip of that too.
So we get there, no problem. So we're going to talk a little bit about roles to give you a little bit more insight into the mentor thing, based on what we've learned from discussions with folks. The Hello World Foundation, I think, spun out of CoderDojo, so there's actually people that are paid to help dojos get rolling. One of which was the one from New York City. So the primary role for a parent that isn't a coder is to bring their child. So one of the things, the general standard is kids 12 and under must come with a parent. 13-year-olds and up, and this is the general standard within other CoderDojos, can come on their own, and that's okay. Parents need to be able to ensure that kids bring a laptop. Obviously, we've talked about having loaners, and we'll get those ready. So let us know if you need some help with that. That's no problem. And you can actively learn with your child, so that you can continue working on their project with them, or not. It's sort of your choice. I mean, obviously, it's encouraged to try to learn with them. Some kids at certain ages would rather you not, and it might be better to just go sit over there and have some coffee or whatever.
How long are these sessions?
So, in talking to others, they go anywhere from 3 to 5 hours, depending on kind of what the deal is. I think most of the curriculum-based ones are probably 3 to 4 hours, and then the drop-in sessions, they just open it up for a fair chunk of the day. I think some of the ones in Ireland go like 6-8 hours, just all day Saturdays. And it's not like the kids there the entire day; it's just kind of for there.
So if you're coding with, say, HTML, you need a specific program, or how do you envision that?
So we'll, if we do know, see, the question was, if you're coding with HTML or some other language, do you need some specific program? So we, in advance of any particular event, if it will be topical like that, we would make those requirements known on the meetup site well in advance for you to download.
The vast majority of stuff will be open source. Right? So go down and load and install this from your Atlas library available.
Okay.
How do you guys see actually organizing curriculum? Like, I understand there's a bunch of stuff available at CoderDojo, but as
Right.
far as, kind of getting together and deciding what to do,
Right.
what it's going to look like.
So I think one of the things that we need to do between now and the 29th is figure out what mentors are available and get together either on a conference call or together in person and talk about curriculum and what we want to try to support. Whether it's a single curriculum or whether we break it up like you saw in that video where like go here for JavaScript, go here for Python, whatever.
And to sort of help us do like kind of a skills assessment here, I had people answer what languages are they proficient in, would they like to code in, and this sort of visually represents, I kind of chunked out that data and analyzed it a little bit. And so C#, JavaScript, Java, Python, web, HTML, those are like the things that the highest number of people, potential mentors, have stated that they have skills in and would like to teach. So we really, like Ian was saying before, we want to draw from the community. This isn't us creating a curriculum. We work with folks here that want to be mentors and team up, collaborate, figure out what a good curriculum would be for a topic.
Yeah, and like the broader community, like worldwide, have created. There's a wiki, with the various like technologies and different things that you can use for curriculum to teach like different projects that are really good for teaching Scratch or HTML, CSS, and those kinds of things. So we'll totally be drawing on that, I'm sure. So as far as mentors are concerned, so mentors need to be knowledgeable in a given topic. The way that the sessions generally work is there's probably a 10 to 15 minute introduction to orient or reorient parents, right? And to introduce the things that are going to be, that the kids are going to learn, not taught, but learn, right? During that session. And then the mentors will help a small group of kids get through whatever the curriculum is, right? Whatever they're going to be learning that day. And they're encouraged to take that grandmother method, like step back and compliment them and help them learn together. You know, so like a given mentor might have 3 or 4 kids. At some of the ones like the we talked to this dude from Ireland, they'll have up to 25 kids, and they'll just kind of wander around. And, you know, and the kids are like you saw, like there's 6 kids at a table. If you do any adults. They also strongly encourage kids that have the knowledge to transition into mentor roles, right? So I know we're talking to some parents tonight who these kids are really passionate about, you know, coding and stuff. And that's awesome. They should be mentors. What else? Volunteers, yeah, we'll take whatever help we get, right? I don't even know, we don't even really know the inventory of the things that we need to do. We have a lot of people at version 1 that want to help. So we probably have more people than we have things to do today. But, you know, we haven't even started yet, so I'm pretty sure we're going to figure out that there's a lot of stuff that we can do in terms of getting this up and running. There's simple things like logistics, designs, facilities, and we don't see a whole lot of tables here, so we'll be ordering those. Actually, at that little kickoff thing we did at version 1, there was a little raffle fundraiser thing, just to sort of you know, provide some initial funding. We're going to be using that for, so I think we raised like $200. Use that for like tables and chairs, and also to help pay for background checks and those kinds of things that we think are really important.
Will you guys take more sponsorship from companies? Because
Sure.
I know Ipswich, they allow donation to
Yeah.
those
yeah.
types of
Yeah, we'd love that.
organizations.
Yeah,
That'd be great.
for sure. So one of the things some folks at the company are doing is trying to set up a 501(c)(3) nonprofit foundation.
Okay, so you guys are doing that.
Yeah, we're going to do that so that any contribution is going to be tax deductible, and that's what we're going to plan to use to help fund this for sure. And yeah, I mean other companies. It's a community thing, not really a version one. We're trying to get it going because we think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, we'd love to see it, you know, expand as much as it can. If we can help get that started, that's what we want to achieve here.
I was wondering, you know, sometimes the child may not be able to come for the curricular
Sure.
phase, whether they can put the lesson plan on the YouTube.
Well,
So that, you know, when they come for, you know, they missed the lesson last week, when they come next week for individual working, we kind of catch up.
Most of the materials that we'll end up using will most likely be stuff that already exists as open source material on the web. So that probably will most likely be the case for, you know, most of the events, unless a volunteer really takes it on themselves to create something specific. But even then, they should probably end up putting it on the web for people to use anyway. So
Yeah,
I think that should be okay.
Might be worth having a website, even with just links. Because, yeah, sure,
Yeah, but-
you can
yeah,
learn
right.
anything on the
Sure.
web, but
Exactly.
Yeah, a little bit more focused, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you take a look at I think the best example right now is CoderDojo LA, the Los Angeles one. They have very good links to materials that they frequently use. So this right here is actually the official CoderDojo wiki, and I know everybody can't read this, but it has these exercises that people can download and use right there in their dojo events. It says Dojo Game, which is HTML5, CSS, JavaScript, PHP, and MySQL. Scratchtastic, which is the visual scratch programming tool from MIT. Python Power, or Python, as they said in Ireland. And then on down the line. So there are lots of materials out there that we'll do our best to use those rather than create something brand new and make it proprietary. It's totally open
Well,
source.
and I
Yeah, I'm
think
not
if
asking for creating brand new, just
Sure.
a resource so that,
Sure.
you know, if the child miss
Yeah, we'll definitely
days,
do
you
that.
know,
And I
say,
think-
hey, here's how you can catch up.
Yeah, I
This
think
is
if
what-
we follow the model that New York City is doing, where they have a curriculum session and a drop-in session, that gives a little more flexibility in terms of catching up, because you can come in and just sit like a group of kids that are trying to learn and learn, and you're not working on a consistent project.
Does it even matter that they miss the session? Because any child could be working on different lessons.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
There's no like synchronized lectures. You know?
Right, no, there's not.
It's just based on the document.
Yeah, it's like,
You read the article and you try to follow along. So, you know, kid 1 could
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll probably, I would bet that we'll constantly be doing this, like a lot of the same things repeatedly, because kids are going to be learning about it. And as you grow, I mean, kids have to, you know, there'll be some kids that are advanced and some kids just get started.
Yeah, so we might end up with like the kind of the beginner area, the intermediate area, and then the advanced area. Like we'll have to see based on the turnout how we need to do that, but we'll try to be as adaptive as we need to be to the needs of all the students that come in on a particular day.
So one of the things I wanted to touch on was the child safety thing. So my son's been in Scouts for a while, and they've had issues in the past, so they really stress child safety. And so one of the things we're planning to do is for our mentors and volunteers, whether you're a parent or not, if you want to participate as a mentor, and be working with kids that aren't your kids, we're going to require a background check. We're going to post a mentor sign-up form, mentor and volunteer sign-up form that'll have a link to that form that you'll need to fill out, and then either scan and email back or fax back to we're going to use our HR people to do that stuff. So pretty straightforward, but really important. The other thing that I've learned from through my son in Scouts or whatever is that they have a rule or a guideline called 2B leadership, and there are other names for this. And it's like never be alone with someone else's child. Right? It's for your own protection. Right? This is, and we'll probably talk about this more often than just here. But yes, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, obviously we have a very open space here, so and everyone will be in visibility with everyone else, and that's really, it's really that protects everyone, so it's not a real problem.
And to that point, we'll also have T-shirts for the mentors and the volunteers that we'll give them to them for free after they pass the check and everything, and we'll ask that they wear those during the event, so it'll be obvious who's going through this process.
I think it might be a good idea to post the fact that you guys are doing this background check and all the due diligence, because like if I advertise it like on Facebook to my friends and stuff like that, they would probably be skeptical.
Okay.
So it would be good to have something like that, kind of.
Sort of have that right in the
not in big red letters, but prominent enough to where it doesn't get lost.
Well, in fact, when Josh and I created that meetup group, meetup almost shut it down because we said kids 7 to 17. We didn't talk about parents and guardians.
Actually, what happened? I don't know if I was using my phone or something to type that up, and I had mentioned that, and the meetup site, probably my phone kept crashing, and I was like, the third time I tried to do it, and I left the message out. So, yeah, I'm glad that they called it.
All right. I think that's everything on the list. Any questions? Any more questions?
I just have one question. If they have something specific that they're working on, like LabVIEW, for example, would that be okay, like to have a small group? Or is it going to be more organized as far as everybody's going to do HTML today, or everybody's going to do JavaScript?
I mean, I think, and I think we're going to, the question was, if they have something specific they want to focus on, will they be able to do that with a small group, or is everyone going to be learning HTML and CSS today, like during the session? And I think given enough turnout, we can have separate areas, like we have this area over here, and that area over there, and there's another around the corner, there's some a little bit more open space and stuff. And I think we can split it up. So Python's over here, just let's restart this, which I think would be great. And then during if we, do the drop-in thing, bring whatever you got. Hopefully there's a mentor there that has knowledge in that.
Of the people here who would like to mentor, does anybody know that they could be available on the 29th? 5, 6. Okay, great.
We got a couple other folks on the dev team.
Yeah. Okay. Is that date specifically bad for some other people? Okay. So about half and half. Then. Is Saturday in general bad for those folks that said it was not good, or just that particular day?
Just that day for me.
Yeah.
I mean, our assumption is during the week is alright, even in the summer, it's just not the greatest plan for most people. I don't know if that's true or not.
Is the idea to keep it going all Saturdays or working when school comes?
Well, not every Saturday
I
necessarily,
mean,
but
but
yeah,
Saturday.
that's the thought, right? Does that make sense for most people?
Yeah.
What else, logistics wise? Mornings or afternoons? Saturday.
Afternoons.
What's that? Mornings?
Show of hands, mornings? Saturday mornings?
For those of us with teenagers, let's define
Well,
morning.
that's true. My son's like 11 a.m. on a Saturday, right?
Yeah, I'm just dead serious.
Yeah.
There's no learning.
Okay, you plan to have sports are always usually Saturday. Soccer games and stuff are Saturday morning.
Okay.
That's, yeah, once you get into regular season.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, on the job, this part, when the games start, football becomes impossible.
Then maybe we can switch it up, right?
Well, maybe we don't do it on a Saturday where there's, well,
Yeah.
there's football.
Games.
Well,
Yeah, but not necessarily here every weekend.
Yeah,
Saturday afternoon would be better because of the games and
sure.
kids involved in soccer and.
Okay. Sounds good. All right.
And you said 17, but if you 18 is not. Yeah. Okay. That's what I'm
18's
saying.
an adult though, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could be a senior in high school. Okay.
18-year-olds are getting really
Right.
hard problems for me.
What's that?
18-year-olds are getting really hard problems for me.
Greg?
We may have glanced over it.
Yeah, outsourcing
You mentioned again how the process will work for teachers or their guardians that want to bring a group of kids to CoderDojo.
Okay, so based on what we've learned from our conversation with the New York City dojo, the way they've done it successfully is to ask that guardian or teacher or other adult to have a signed approval sheet
Like
from the
permission slip
parent,
kind of
permission
thing.
slip.
Like from
Do
the
you go
parents or
through a
guardian?
background check process as well?
They're coming as sort of a parent in the parent role, so I don't think that's,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, it's fine. There is a lot of variation in terms of like, so in Ireland, it's free. Background checks are free. So it's no problem for them to do them for pretty much everything. Here they're not. So New York City doesn't really do them. But we decided that we've got money enough that we can do them and we think it's important.
Question right there?
How many kids,
I couldn't hear. How many?
How many kids can one parent bring?
As many as you want.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, you
it's
mean
not
kids,
your
like,
own.
oh, so groups, so I thought that, how many of mine can I bring?
Well, I mean, I'm already starting out with more than one, so I
Right.
just bring mine, so if the friends want to come, then we're asking to
Yeah.
bring fast, so
Sure.
how many would that be?
Well, I guess the way we'll have to do this is, based on how many mentors we'll have for a given date, we'll maybe have to just kind of set a limit on the total number of kids that we can, serve meaningfully. And so, and we'll try to post all those details on the Meetup RSVP site for that event, and just a case by case basis. But we'll make sure that information is available, and we'll have the limits and such on the site. And what Ian said earlier, we will have some loaner laptops. So yeah, if you did bring,
Probably not ready for the first one,
Right.
just saying.
but if you did bring kids and did additional kids that have enough laptops for, just check with us to make sure that we can reserve one for those additional children.
I mean, from the discussions too, I mean, a lot of kids end up working together on the same laptop too, so sharing is not a bad thing when you're learning.
Yeah, true. In fact, we do that a lot at these desks. Call it pair programming. A lot of times, two people with one computer.
But you see two screens there, but they're really showing the same thing. It's just for convenience. All right.
Other
Any
questions?
questions?
good?
So everything's going to the Vito site then, right?
It is for now, yeah. So the folks in New York City and Ireland recommend using Eventbrite for the actual sessions. So we might consider transitioning to that because they find they get like people. It's just a much greater understanding of who's coming. Right? It's more of like you get a ticket. It's more of a commitment or something. But then we'll have a better idea of headcount, mentors, and ratios and stuff like that. So we'll see. But for now, we're just going to stick with this and see if it works.
Yeah.
Background checks are great, but I also suggest that you do some kind of guidelines for the mentors. Rules that they need to follow,
Okay.
like kids go in, if you're going to go to the bathroom, make sure that 2 kids go at a time, like a buddy system or something.
Right.
My kids are in the Civil Air Patrol, which is similar to the Boy Scouts. But we actually have a cadet protection program trainings that we have to go through before we can ever be around kids under 18. So I suggest some guidelines for that.
Okay. That's a good point. So in the mentor planning session, whether it's a conference call or whatever, we'll
I can
go through
guidelines.
Yeah,
We
that'll
have.
be great. So we don't want to go all the way to 8:30, but because we want to reserve some time for folks to chat with each other and chat with us if you have any other questions or any other things you want to bring up in more detail. But do we have any other questions before we just open it up?
So the first meeting, we'll decide that curriculum or whatever, through a mentor, meetup.
So Josh will post a link to a mentor and volunteer registration form, right? So that will have a little bit more definitive list of, okay, so what do you know in terms of technologies and stuff? And probably on that, it's like, can you make it to the 29th, right? And then based on that, we'll get that group that are planning to be here on the 29th together, whether they get in person or on a web conference or whatever, and go through, okay, so what do we want to try to do in terms of curriculum and maybe talk more about child safety. Does that make sense?
Last one. Joe?
Will there be any affordance for remote participation? Or no?
Not initially.
Yeah. What he said.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a great point.
I guess other than that we'll try our best, like we were saying earlier, that whatever materials that we make available, we make them available freely online. But, yep. Okay, so unless there are any other last questions, we'd like to just, okay, go ahead.
Do you have any clue, I know you're kind of making this up as you go along, but do you have volunteer needs that are non-mentoring positions? Or do you know yet?
We don't, I mean, we have a bunch of folks at version 1 that want to help. So I'm not sure if our needs exceed the number of volunteers we already have.
Will you publicize that? Is those of us who are not computer programmers are glad to register
Certainly,
people
as much as you can do to get the word out in
bring
different mailing lists
Yeah.
and different groups that groups that you affiliate with. Just get the word out for certain. That's the first thing. And potentially, if you do have computer equipment that like a laptop that's not 10 years old or more, but something that we could use, bring it to our attention, and we could certainly use it if it can help the kids. That could be like USB drives, USB thumb sticks, etc. All kinds of things. All right, so we'll hang around at least till 8:30. So if anybody wants to ask us more questions, or you just want to talk with some other folks, go to it. We still have some leftover
other
pizza.
ideas of things that we didn't talk about.
Sure.
Now.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
Thank you
very much.
Good job.
Good job. Yay.
So what are you thinking about putting on?
Sounds very cool. Are you going to mentor?
Can you send my